motherfuckers.
Alright. When I was 13 year old or so, I had a family member ask me one time on the phone, that lived in Oklahoma, if I'd seen any Indians shooting people with bows and arrows or anybody riding on their wagons. And at first I thought he was joking, but he was actually serious. But I just want to say today that we're a little bit more advanced than that, and there have been a few people that have made it out of Oklahoma in the Indian attacks and gone on to live famous lives. So today I'm going to talk to you about 3 athletes that came from Oklahoma and went on and done great things with their lives. The first person I'm going to talk to you about is Mickey Mantle. He was born in Babinaw, Oklahoma on October 20th, 1931. And he actually started playing semi-pro ball for a Kansas team named Baxter Springs Whiz Kids. This was a rather young age in my mind to start playing professional ball. And in 1951, he made the jump from C League, which is kind of like minor league A, double or single A ball, to the New York Yankees. That was the biggest jump at that time. While Mickey Mantle played for the New York Yankees, he was the most valuable player 3 times in 1956, 57, and 1962. And also had 536 career home runs, which is the 3rd highest at the time when he retired, and it is still the highest for switch hitters. Furthermore, Mickey Mantle appeared in 12 World Series and won 7 championships while with the Yankees, which was the only team that he did play for. Mickey Mantle retired from baseball on March 1st, 1969, and then lived in Texas and died at the Baylor University Hospital in Dallas on August 13th, 1995. Through my research, one of the interesting things I found, I knew the Mickey Mantle baseball card was worth a lot of money, but it actually has gone and sold for over $50,000 just for one baseball card. I think that's pretty impressive. Next, I'm going to talk to you about Johnny Bench, who was from Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, and was born on December 7th, 1947, but actually grew up in Binger, Oklahoma. He too was drafted without going to college, but after high school by the Cincinnati Reds in 1965, and was the National League Rookie of the Year in 1968. He too won Most Valuable Player several times, first being in 1970, the second being in 1972. And was the MVP of the World Series 1 year in 1976. He played for the Cincinnati Reds for 17 years and retired in 1983. Not only was Johnny Bench an excellent athlete, but while in college he played baseball and basketball, but furthermore he was the valedictorian, which I find is pretty impressive for an athlete. Usually it's one or the other. And also he was the first catcher ever to win the MVP for the National League. Third, I'm going to talk to you about Jim Thorpe, which is he's a pretty impressive man. He played baseball for the Major League Baseball. He also played NFL, football, and was an Olympic gold champion for the U.S. Olympic team. Jim Thorpe was born on May 28th in 1887 in Prague, Oklahoma. He was actually a twin, and his brother Charlie died at the age of 9. Jim Wolff was an Indian, and his Indian name was Wolff, which translates to bright path. That seems pretty a good name for him. He did live quite a bright path. Like I said earlier, he was a player in the NFL. He was actually one of the members that actually founded what we call the NFL today in 1920, and also he was the first president of the NFL. And a little fact on his baseball career: he was the only person known to have hit 3 home runs in 3 different states in one game. How did that happen? Well, he was playing a semi-pro ball game down in on the Texas, Arkansas, and Louisiana or Oklahoma border. One of the home runs that he hit in the left field was in Oklahoma. Another one he hit was in the Arkansas, and the third was in the park home run, which was actually in Texas. That's a pretty interesting fact there. Jim Thorpe was only one of 2 men that ever played for the New York Giants football and New York Giants baseball team. And he played major and minor league baseball for 20 years, starting with the Giants in 1913, and then several other teams to include the Boston Braves and Cincinnati Reds. As I mentioned earlier, he had won gold medals. He actually won those in the 1912 Olympic Games. However, due to the fact that he had played semi-pro ball before the Olympics, a year later in 1913, the Olympic Committee actually pulled his medals away from him that he had won as a decathlon and a pentathlon. On March 28, 1953, Jim Thorpe passed away, and I think it's pretty sad to say that our actual government, our Oklahoma government, would not allow him to be buried in Oklahoma. His family wanted him to come back to Oklahoma and have a memorial set up for him. They wouldn't do that. So he was actually buried in Pennsylvania, where he attended college. In conclusion, we've moved on past the Indian attacks and people riding around in the wagons. We're actually a state full of interesting people and sights. And today I've discussed some remarkable individuals that were from Oklahoma, and I think set a good example of the type of people that are from Oklahoma. Thank you for your time, and I hope you've enjoyed learning a little bit about Oklahoma.